What's up, Ryan? This video is in response to your question about how we handle content writing for clients. Now, you are exactly right. It depends on the type of client you're pitching, the industry that they're in, the resources, all that stuff to make the determination about whether we will tell them that they have to write the content for themselves or whether or not it's something that we can help them out with. So this starts in the pitching process. And if you're working with a specific set of clients that's all blue collar, you just build this into your evaluation process, right? But basically, we tend to work mostly with B2B clients, software, high ticket, where we tell them during the pitch process, you need so much content that you need to have your own writer, somebody that you trust, somebody that you can rely on, because when you write content, especially for software and some of these more like tough to understand spaces, the back and forth that happens really leads to a lot of scope creep. So like if we're trying to write an article about, I don't know, how to implement web hosting on WordPress, and we don't have a writer who knows that inside and out, then that article is never going to live up to their expectations. So what we do instead is we build a content strategy, we build them the outline, we give them all the SEO information that they need and say, here, this is yours, you have to write it, and we're giving you 4 of these a month. And if you want to hit your traffic goals, then you need to get these written. So we instruct them. We usually put it on them to, hey, you should find your own writer. Now, that's for a client that has resources. They probably have an internal marketing team. If they don't have a writer, they can easily find one. And that's also something that we can charge a little bit extra for, just a couple hours to help them find and vet, a writer. Or we'll just refer them to a writing company that we use a lot. We use Hire Writers a lot. We use a lot of different writing companies that usually do a pretty good job with this. We'll try and find one dedicated writer and assign that to an account. Now, if it's a client like a roofing company that doesn't even really understand the context of content, is not going to have a content writer in-house, has no resources, you're probably working directly with the business owner. In that case, what we'll do is we will go out and find a writer for them. And it's a little bit more of a pain. And again, we like to push that writer onto them to manage. We just like to get the content writing management off of our plate, because it's not just about the writing, it's about the content management, it's about publishing it to the website. All these small things lead to scope creep. So in that case, I actually just sent a proposal today. What we do is we'll use this pricing template, right? And the process that I like to follow is the lead comes in, and I like to schedule a phone consult with them. That's a 15 to 30 minute conversation where they fill out a questionnaire ahead of time. I dump their website into Ahrefs and a deep crawl. I get a feel for it. I comb through their website about 10 minutes beforehand. I get a feel for what's going on, and I put together a high level strategy in my head. That high level strategy is pretty much always going to be following the same process that we teach here in the blueprint. But then what I'll do is we'll have that consult. I'll make them feel like, hey, if you guys wanted to move forward, let me send you the pricing first before you get a full proposal, because a full proposal takes my time, and I want to make sure that this pricing is within your range. And I'll put together this spreadsheet that you see here. So this is built for an e-com. This is just a template. This is what you guys have access to in the blueprint. But basically what I'll do is I'll fill this out for the hours, and then what I'll do is I'll film a video just like this. I use Loom, quick 4-minute video that just walks them through what I put together here. It explains to them the hours, and then it highlights both link building and content strategy. And when I tell them here very clearly is, hey, look it, this content strategy, these hours are for our time to strategize, find keywords, build outlines, and build you a content calendar. It is 100% on you to get this content written. If you can't get that content written done, right, then we're going to add a few more hours, 2 more hours every month for content management and content publishing. Also, we're going to need to hire and find a writer. He or she is probably going to charge around $100 to $200 per page. And if they say, whoa, that's too much, then we say, okay, it's on you guys to handle this, right? And if you don't get content, like, it's really, really important that you kind of draw a line in the sand and you put the onus and you say, we're the experts in SEO. Sorry, my phone just rang. But this is on you guys. Like, we're not a content writing company. This is 100% your responsibility. If you want to hit the goals that you have in mind for traffic and rankings, you have to get content written. There's no way around it. So, again, if that's the trade-off, is that you have to get compensated for that extra time. Like this proposal that I'm teaching guys here, this strategy, this is for your time to get the SEO done. It's not including the in-between stuff that can lead to massive scope creep and kill your margins. So my advice to you is, number one is, just like you already have, is really understand who that client is, what the resources are, and understand how much of a line in the sand you can draw in terms of being like, we're going to deliver you outlines. It's up to you. It's up to your team. That's really more for a company that has internal resources. But if you're working more with a blue collar local website, that, and the thing there too is that you're probably not going to need that much content for like a local roofing company. Like, I probably would do maybe 1 blog post a month, if that. Really more of the content is going to come from rewriting service pages, that type of stuff. So if they can't write the content, which I know they won't, if they don't have a writer, which I know that they don't, then you're going to tell them, here, that, hey, these hours are for finding keywords, building content outlines, and delivering them to you. If you want that content to get taken to the next level where it's writing and publishing, first of all, you're going to pay us an extra 2 hours for the writing and project management per month, period, no questions asked. And you're going to need to pay an expense fee to a writer every month. So then, but we'll handle finding the writer, blah, blah, blah. So that's what I would do, is just make sure that whatever strategy that you take and approach, that you're getting compensated for, because these are the things that will crush your margins, crush you. It will lead to more headaches, more back and forth, and lead you to the point asking yourself, is this even worth it, right? So you have to make sure that you understand the resources, you understand what that client can do, draw a line in the sand, let them know that this is not our responsibility. You do that at every turn that you can during the proposal process, so that way they don't sign up and be like, hey, where's our content? You need to push that onus back on them. And if they can't handle that onus, then you say, okay, then we're going to redo our hours and you're going to pay us extra to handle this for you. That's my advice. And the reason I do that, as opposed to just putting those hours in here, which you can do, we used to charge for all-in bulk services, is because of sticker shock. If you go ahead and add in 2 hours an extra month over 12 months, that's gonna beef up that overall retainer, a couple $1,000 depending on what your hourly rate is. So you can come up with a flat cost. To me, this is just easier to manage things, because we used to do flat fee pricing where it was $4,000 a month, and that includes links and 2 pieces of content per month. But then again, what happens is I didn't fully account for the operational on the backside, how many hours that was taking us, how much that was costing us. And flat fee pricing is great especially for smaller clients. They can comprehend it. They feel like they're getting a package. They're getting everything done. They don't have to do anything. But it's really important that you take the time up front and at least do the math to figure out, if you want to do flat fee pricing and include content in that, is this something that we're going to be compensated for properly? Are we going to be profitable on this? And if we are even profitable on it, is this still something that we want to do because of the amount of headaches, the back and forth, the extra emailing, the extra level of project management, the extra level of back and forth, the rewrites, the editing, how are you going to handle that, the uploading to WordPress or whatever they're using, the getting the images, the title writing? It's a lot of work. So 2 hours is probably at the minimum of what you'd want to charge. You might even want to put in 5 hours, or just overload those hours on to make them feel like, okay, this is something that we'll just handle internally, because we're not going to pay you an extra $1,000 a month to do it. So that would be my advice. This was a long-winded video to answer that question. If you have any follow-ups, just drop it in Slack. Thanks, man.